This is Fantasy Football Till Death.
Oh, what a difference a couple of weeks makes. What up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the FFtilD Podcast. It's your host, Thomas Wright, joined alongside, as always, Mr. Sam Singer.
Hey, guys.
He's feeling exactly like that sounded, I think.
Yeah.
Aren't you excited to have fantasy football back in your life?
It's so fun. It's so fun. It was really nice to win that award last night. Me and Spring, best draft.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Really sick teams.
You know what happened the first time that we did that best draft thing?
Do I want to know what happened?
It's a good omen, potentially.
Okay.
It resulted in this shirt. Yeah. This shirt resulted from the first ever best draft award.
Classic.
Led by Justin Jefferson.
What's sick
JJ.
is like we're all running a Spartan race in 2 weeks. And so preemptively, I'm just going to get that, out of the way. And so, because it's good for a year, right?
Hey, the night is still young, Sam. I think you got plenty left in the tank. But yeah, it is crazy. A world difference from that just bright-eyed and bushy-tailed anticipation just surging through you pre-draft into post-draft into pre-week one, 10 a.m. kickoff, into staring into the dark abyss that is week 3.
Dude, week 1, I can, obviously my team underperformed a lot, but I got smacked by the Titan Reaper. I think he high score of the week. So that was sick. Nothing I can do about that. Week 2, this week was a little rough, especially just like looking like I had a chance kind of all the way until the end.
Yeah.
And just like, man.
Well, I mean, you did say GG very early, and it was not in fact GG.
It was pretty GG.
I mean,
even with the abysmal performance by Hurts and Marvin Harrison and Bowers, you still won by 15.
That's true. The team didn't show up, but hey, we got a great show planned for it today. It's going to be a little bit shorter than normal. Duty calls, life calls. That's what's happened in the last week or so. We're sorry that we couldn't link up last week. Beckham actually got sick for the first time, which was kind of a weird experience. It's like, I remember you talking to me about Scarlett being sick and just how like interesting to navigate it was. Like they're still trooping it like crazy, like 80% normal, but then 20% really sad and acting different and not sleepy and just having to observe your spawn deal with that
and you can't
really
explain
tough
to them what's going on. But yeah, they're kind of like at this point dogs still, where they're just like, this is it now. Yeah, I can't breathe out of my nose.
The slobber situation is very much like a dog too. Just constantly running liquids from the nose and the mouth. But we were a little bit off. And now when you have kids, it's tough to link up. I had a little bit of something. I didn't want to give it to you. I didn't want to give it to Scarlett, to Hannah. So we erred on the side of being safe. Caution is the better form of valor. So sorry about that. Hopefully back on the regularly scheduled weekly podcast here. But yeah, we got a good episode. We're going to go through a little bit of a state of the union with the league. I know 2 weeks in, it is early, but it does feel like it's getting dark quick, depending on who you ask. We'll bring back our suicide watch. I know everyone loves that. If you're on it, not so much. Of course, Gambler's Alley. We got a little segment called Patience or Panic we'll hit. And then we'll wrap up and get ready for next week.
Hell yeah, brothers.
Sam, start us off, man.
Little State of the Union. Some people are feeling great, others not so much. I got to say, I was talking to B a little bit yesterday, I think, thinking back to the draft, and we were kind of joking around B team second chances. Like, man, his team will be sick if he can squeak out a few wins before Rashi comes back from suspension. Oof.
How about the Travis Etienne pick? And it's one of those things where I was personally thinking, like, man, I feel so dumb for not drafting Travis Etienne, especially at that price point. Obviously, hindsight's always 20/20, but more than likely, there was going to be a high functioning running back in that offense. Why not take a stab at the guy who's done it before in that offense? Brendan, the way he constructed his team, basically needed to kind of hit on one of those guys. and he knocks it out of the ballpark. And now whatever leeway he was hoping to have to survive before Rashi comes back, he's way superseded that. That's now in the rearview mirror. He's thinking about winning every game until Rashi comes back and letting that just bolster his lineup as one of the strongest in the league. So kudos to Brendan, the outlier. Very, very, very sick draft in hindsight, pending health with which everyone's healthy. So why not think of him that way, right?
Exactly. Everyone's healthy.
So Brendan starts 2-0. We have the return of Jay. His team is looking strong, even with some pieces that haven't performed at the level that he's hoped for. Still really has really strong performers across the board. Herbo looking like an absolute
looking
stud.
great. Awesome that Jay's back, that he's 2-0 and that he gets to have a team captained by the hometown hero, favorite team to cheer for, Justin Herbert.
It's so cool. Yeah, stoked for Jay. And I mean, no signs of slowing down, really. Took a big stab at the waiver wire last week. So he's coming in hot and aggressive.
A lot of moves. Scooped up everyone. Pretty much everyone relevant last week.
Literally got everyone.
Moving on quickly from Mark Andrews. See ya, buddy.
Later.
Not going to deal with that. Picking up Juwan, who picked up right where he left off. So amazing. Congratulations, Jay. It feels good to have you back in full swing, man.
And Brendan, hey, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Mark Andrews, if nothing else, he's a great locker room guy. So, $30 is $30. You got plenty more where that came from.
He spent $30 on him?
I think so.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, that's why he's been in the group chat.
Oh,
talking about he's no.
I thought he just picked him up and was trying to. Okay, yeah, $30. I do see that Ben had an offer in here for $0 too. So, way to get your guy. Way to get your guy, B. Let's go.
Hey, speaking of getting your guy, Kendall goes out and gets Troy Franklin.
Ken gets
this morning for $71.
Trojan horse. 71 buckaroos.
So you're a Broncos fan. I feel like you have some good insight into this, right? Or you should have a pretty good perspective. What is your evaluation of the $71 fab bid?
Obviously, I was in on Troy. My evaluation is that Troy has had he had one good game, and he goes way back with Bo. My question marks, I don't know. I mean, Troy was sick at Oregon. Obviously, he was not a high draft pick receiver, and last year kind of basically was a non person, like didn't really exist on the team. Is that the way to say it? He was a non-person.
I think that's politically correct. Yeah. Yes, he was a non-person.
He was a non-person last year.
They'll come at you if you don't get that term correct these days. So yeah, you got it. He was a non-person.
I think technically he's still the wide receiver 3 this year. Marvin Mims still plays ahead of him. As a Broncos fan, I would be most concerned about the Broncos offense in general, and Bo Nix looking sometimes serviceable and sometimes like one of the worst quarterbacks in the league.
Which you so eloquently said, by the way. I appreciated that perspective in the group chat.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that makes sense. End of career Jay Cutler, kind of just like letting it rip, no matter if it was to someone on his team or someone on the other team.
That first game, I mean, I didn't really watch the Colts game, but that first game, and it's week 1.
Yeah.
But that was about as bad as I think I've seen him play.
It was really bad.
So you think it was just a week 1?
It's almost like, there was all this talk in the offseason in Denver about like Bo Nix, the next John Elway, Peyton Manning. Like, our expectations aren't Super Bowl, it's Hall of Fame, best quarterback ever. And like, he's just sort of like embodied that a little too much with these like gunslinging, like throw the ball into triple coverage. Actually, just cross 3 guys on the other team, and there's not even a Bronco in the area, and just expect it to work out. So he started slow last year, picked it up down the stretch, obviously. So we'll see what happens. If it hits, that's great. 71 buckaroos. That's the load. The load's been blown. So, like we talked about, it's better to do it early and hit or not hit.
Is what it is. We don't have to spend too much time on it. I was just curious as to your perspective there as a Broncos fan. I'm fortunate enough to win last week. Had a pretty light schedule so far. No offense to you and Ben. Fortunate with the covers there as the third unbeaten team at 2-0. We've got 6 1-1 teams here. Luke, Graham, Evan, Ben, Kendall, and Casey. And then Hunter, Spring, and yourself rounded out as the 3 0-2s. Tough go on paper before the season, all very highly respected teams, voted a lot of votes in the best draft. A lot can change in a couple of weeks. So it is early. We'll see how things go from here. But anything stand out to you from these first couple weeks? Any major surprises? I guess take yourself out of the equation. Anything league-wide, player-wise, team-wise off the bat that's like, man, I can't believe that after 2 weeks I'm already thinking this way?
Well, just generally, just about the NFL in general, how could not have been more different from week 1 to week 2, I feel like, in terms of like
results.
What offenses did, touchdowns, and just everything looked pretty bad week 1. Last week, things were rolling. I think 2 weeks into it, it's like really hard. Like there's no patterns that have emerged yet. And it's obviously like Evan's a perfect example of this. Highest points in week 1, pretty horrible performance in week 2. Yeah. Right. So yeah, I mean, we'll just have to see. I mean,
so do you think it's like indicative of the draft results in the sense that, we really didn't see any head and shoulders above the rest teams or any teams that were looking bad on paper? Everyone's team was pretty blended. There was a couple different strategies at play, and now it's just almost like coin flip playing out so far. Or do you feel like there are, and we'll get into patience or panic later, but do you feel like after 2 weeks, there are some teams that should be legitimately concerned and it's more than just being on the wrong side of a coin flip?
I think 2 weeks in, there's probably a few teams that should be legitimately concerned. But yeah, I mean, in the draft, you're right. All the teams look so even. And so it's hard at this point even to look at any team, even teams that are 0-2 or whatever. And every team feels like maybe they're just 1 week away from being what they're supposed to be.
Right. Yeah. Whether that's the volume or the touchdown regression or whatever the case may be. But yeah, it's still looking pretty even across the board. I know we're only 2 weeks in and trade buzz has been going crazy. From what I can tell, I haven't been, contrary to whatever Kendall spews out there, I haven't been talking trades really with anyone. But from what I'm hearing, trade season is aplenty. There's lots of activity flying around, and we've already had a few. So let's put on our trade alert cap and let's go over. By the way, you called out that you were like Schefter yesterday with that trade.
Yeah, I just happened to be sitting there staring at my phone right when the email came through. I think
Do you get notifications of a trade?
Yeah, an email. Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Because I was trying to find the setting to get notified of other people's trade, but I couldn't find it. There's a setting to get notified of like your own personal trade.
Interesting.
Like proposals or accepts.
Yeah, mine's just always been on.
Really?
So I got an email. Trade alert.
You're just locked in.
Yeah, dude.
We've had 3 trades so far. Springfield and Casey kicked us off with Zay Flowers and James Conner.
Zay Flower and James
Kyren
Conner
Williams.
for Kyren. And what do you feel about this trade? How are you thinking?
In the moment, I thought that had great win-win potential. I honestly leaned a little bit on the side of Casey, especially for his roster comp. I mean, when you look at the roster comps, it made sense for both teams. I'm just a little wary of the Rams rushing offense. That to say, there shouldn't have been any dispute at that point that Kyren was the most valuable piece. So it totally made sense for spring. And, Zay has been really hot or cold in a lot of instances, but it's easy to make a claim about what Kyren can or can't be after 2 weeks, but I do think that it was pretty much a rare win-win for both of them. What do you think?
Yeah, 100% agree. I think Casey got some of the depth that he needed coming out of the draft. And I mean, Zay Flowers, if he keeps it up, target beast, looking legitimate. So, and I like it for spring too. I mean, Kyron's just like a stud, definitely an upgrade over James Conner. Always injury concerns with James Conner being old and getting banged up. I think he's only played a complete season once, if that. So
there's always that. And I'm kind of big on Benson this year. I was leading up, and I don't want to wish ill on anyone, but I do think that he's going to get worked in a little bit more. But Connor's old reliable. I mean,
he is.
He shows that the Cardinals are just a little squirrely. We had last night, we had a Luke and Kendall trade. Like you broke it like Schefter. We had Danny Dimes and Devontae Smith for David Montgomery. First thoughts?
So obviously Ken needs a QB. Purdy's going to be back though. So my initial thoughts are Purdy's going to be back. Maybe not this week, but probably next week. And I do think that over the course of the season, Purdy's probably going to be a better quarterback than Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones has had an amazing 2 weeks, but he's done this a few seasons in the past where people are like, oh, like maybe he's a trade asset or whatever. And then he kind of regresses. There's a reason he got cut halfway through the season last year. And then Devontae's a stud, but I had him last year, and that offense is just tough. Like he'll have his spike weeks and he'll have his down weeks. Ken's trading for depth. I don't think he's even going to start Devontae. So it was curious to see him let go of Montgomery though, because I just feel like Ken's all about Montgomery.
He likes him, but I think, Ken is locked in. And if the first couple weeks taught us nothing, it's that Gibbs is going to be more involved than he has been. Now, the Lions' offense, generally speaking, and the rushing attack is potent. Whether Gibbs gets 70% or 65 or 60 or 80% or not, there's going to be room for Montgomery to have action, especially matchup wise. Like if they're playing teams that they can run through, there's going to be a lot of touchdown equity up there for grabs. But I think, Kendall's reading the tea leaves, getting off on Montgomery after that easy win against the Bears where he had tons of opportunity. I do think this is definitely Gibbs' backfield more so than ever moving forward. And I don't think it's going to get more even with Montgomery. So I think that's why Kendall did it. And obviously to have some depth, he's going to be, moving and grooving with that depth, as you should be, right?
He's got a lot of depth, of depth now, a lot of pieces.
Aaron Jones goes out. So, Mason, you would think standalone value is going to be more than Montgomery anyways at this point. So
for sure,
that Jones, it's a good draft pick with Mason. And he should be, incredibly valuable moving forward.
Yeah, and it works for Luke too. Luke needed some help at running back, and I think Montgomery's going to be an upgrade versus the situation he had there. And I know he probably just wasn't feeling good about rolling out Devontae every week. So sometimes you just got to get off the players.
Luke needed more of a floor there. Pacheco, I'm not sure if Luke's still starting Pacheco, but he hasn't instilled much confidence.
He's not looked good
moving forward. And then, last trade so far, I guess a little bit of a trippy trade just across the board as, Kendall and I made a trade. Keenan Allen for Tyreek Hill.
So can you just walk me through how you approached Kendall to make that trade? Like what the discussions were like and how you ended up convincing him to give you Keenan or to give you Tyreek for Keenan?
Yeah. Well, I sacrificed a goat. Okay. And then I brought my cauldron in from the garage and went into my pantry and I got frog legs and hair of rabbit.
Double toil and trouble.
Yeah, bark of elm. And I started mixing it up and then I just said a couple incantations and Kendall kind of fell under my spell. And, a few sharp, witty words via text. And all of a sudden I had Tyreek Hill waiting in my inbox for a trade. Yeah. The big bad wolf striking harsh.
Wow.
No, I didn't have any conversation with Kendall. I think he, as he said, he spammed Hill out, trying to get off him to quite a few people. Maybe he was just waiting for the trade to go through with whoever else was there. I literally was on the way to church and I wasn't saying that just to play up the sheep thing. And I just looked at my phone, saw it, thought about it for a second, weighed the karmic element of trading Keenan, my boy, my Charger, for Hill. Didn't feel good about it, but I think ultimately, especially in that moment, in the unbalanced value there, I had to accept it. I don't think Tyreek Hill is going to be Tyreek Hill from 3 years ago, but I also think he's still a really valuable piece and he's a good receiver and they're going to be throwing a ton. So had to do it. A little confused by Kendall's shtick at this point though. I obviously have my perspective. I'm curious because not a lot of the league speaks out on it much. They just kind of let Kendall run his course, but seems to be a little bit of a hypocrisy going on with Kendall's ongoing Thomas conversation here, right? Like he has this daily sort of monologue about don't trade with Thomas. Let's keep him try to keep him down. I traded with him, but now that he has 3 Dolphins, you can't trade with him.
Yeah.
Regardless of the fact that they are individual assets on their own. So anyone can try to go after those assets if they want them. Like, it's just all very confusing to me. And I think it's getting a little old on a personal level, right? Like, it's obviously whatever, fun and games, fantasy. I don't take it like in an offensive way, but I just feel like if I was the rest of the league and personally, it's just getting a little bit old.
Yeah. So now he just calls you the wolf now.
Yeah.
Apparently, the email he sent last night, there's another piece coming out on the wolf. Do you know what this one's about?
No, I have no idea. No. I'll like text. Yeah. I'll like Kendall and I texted after the Tyreek trade, just completely normal. Like, he texted me and, just like friends. And then in another breath, it's like there's like 2 sides of Kendall. There's like the normal friend Kendall, and then this like alter ego fantasy Kendall that like has completely separated the way he's like talks about me, like friend and this fantasy guy. Where it's like trying to poison the league against me in some way. It is weird. Interesting.
It's a little bit like, Ken, you're trying to babysit the rest of the league and protect us from Thomas. Like, there's 12 people in the league and 10 of us can't stand up for ourselves and don't know what we're doing and are liable at any moment to be taken advantage of by you and your bad intentions. And Ken is the only one here with his PSAs and his shield to protect us.
It reminds me of the College Humor, the Batman sketch. Right? It's just like, like, and the guy's like, "We're forever in your debt, Batman." I found something. Evidence.
Yeah.
Analyze it.
It's wild. And then to like, I mean, not to harp on the trade too much. To wake up or to see the notification that Ken sent you Keenan flip that Keenan for Tyreek, right after that rant about like,
it was literally 5 minutes after he sent another PSA.
He'll match about anything and all that. It was just weird. And like, that aside, like
why is the rest of the league not competent enough to evaluate their own trades, decide whether or not they want to reach out to me and trade with me or not on their own without the need to like undercut one of their buddies by screenshotting like private trades and sending them to Kendall? I don't think that sends a very good message.
No, it's
personally
just
because I think
weird.
We're all buddies. So I would think, I know it's all, there's some gamesmanship, but to think that people would actually go like take my trade offers and then send them to Kendall is a little bit, I think that's crossing a line, I would say.
But Ken can beat it. He guaranteed. But that aside, just going back to the trade.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the season, as long as both people stay healthy, it will actually be a close trade. Like, I can see Ken wanting to get off Tyreek. Obviously, he's a fan of the Chargers, fan of Keenan. Keenan had a really good week 1. Like, I can see the logic behind it. I do think that for Tyreek, Tyreek could command Keenan and more. I'm not sure you would have done that, but
the trade is fine. I mean, the trade is fine. It's just like on the principle of making that trade, knowing that like, whatever your personal feelings or the personal feelings of a few, I think objectively there is more value on one side, but then to basically have like consternation towards people for not respecting what the consensus value is and saying, hey, I've now set Tyreek's value at no higher than Keenan's. So if you were to inquire about it, then do not trade unless you value him at Keenan's level. That's like, it's kind of like a fantasy czar. But all that to say, I find it interesting. Kendall, still love you. It is getting a little bit old though. So on a personal level, maybe if you want to tone it down a little bit, totally fine in my book. But you're doing a great job and the team is looking good.
Team's looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the flip side of that is like, had it been anyone else in the league that did that trade, what it would have done, the conversation it would have elicited from Ken, the think pieces he would have written about it, so it's just ironic. But anyways, moving on, it's done. I do think it's going to work out for both people. Keenan does look sick. Chargers offense looks sick, and it looks like they're going to pass a lot this year. So
I think It's going to work out for both. A lot of passing. And speaking of passing, I am going to let you kick off the inaugural Suicide Watch for entering week 3. And so I'm going to pass you the tissue box.
Yeah, come in.
I'm going to pass you a couple coffee pods.
Gather round.
I'm going to let you welcome the inaugural group into the room.
Gather round, guys. Welcome back to the familiar space here. Find a chair. Make sure you grab some coffee and donuts. This is the inaugural Suicide Watch list. Not a place that anyone wants to be, but look, we're here to support each other. We're here as brothers to help dig each other out of this hole. So for my inaugural Suicide Watch list, I'm sorry to say it, but I going to have to put Griffin Springfield on that list. Look, best draft. A lot of people thought he had the deepest team. I thought it was a studly team, sick running back core, a lot of pieces, starts 0-2. One of those losses being like a win that was taken away on some stat correction or whatever happened at the end of that game. That literally showing sad. The 100% victory and then having it snatched away is brutal.
Oh my god!
And then to follow it up with like a completely underwhelming performance in week 2. Tough, very tough. Spring, I feel for you. Grab some coffee. We're here to support you, buddy.
It's a safe place, and we're with you. As Sam said, we love you. We appreciate you. By the way, PSA, mental health is a real thing. So, hey, just for the sake of this segment, this is just for fun, right? On a dark issue. But that being said, the room is lonely, and I want to welcome a familiar face. This one's hurting me personally because it's my preseason pick.
Oh, no.
It's my preseason pick. I know, Hunter. I know you maybe not, you don't think it's genuine, Hunter, but this is my preseason pick. So come on in. We have the singularity that is Griffin. Let's make it G squared. Griffin Hunter, come on in, my friend, and make yourself comfortable. Hopefully not for too long, but for this session, lots of promise. Started the draft off with that really fun, exciting Cowboys stack.
Oh, yeah.
Tacked on JJ as well. First 2 weeks have not been kind to Mr. Hunter. The Cowboys have cowboyed. A lot of points left on the table week 1. Justin Jefferson and the Vikings offense has looked stale, led by JJ at best. Now he goes down. Who knows if that's going to hurt or help. The running back situation has not been amazing. It's just not a lot to get super excited about so far for Hunter. The night is young. Eckler went out. Maybe Bill comes in and establishes that role fiercely and shores up that running back group. But so far, not the start that Hunter was looking for. Not the start that anyone really expected for him. So if for just 1 week only, Griffin Hunter, come on in and
grab some coffee, buddy.
Yeah. So that is week
That's
1.
The Suicide Watch list.
Honorable mention?
Me?
Mr. Sam Singer?
No, I'm not scared. I feel good.
You're just like peeking through the door in the hallway?
Like coffee in there.
That sounded
Are those
inspirational.
donuts? Oh.
Might I go again?
You got room for one more?
Griffin? G squared?
No, it sucks to start 0-2. It just sucks because if you want to make the playoffs, you probably only have 6 losses, and some years not even that. And to bang out
some years
more. Some years you could lose 7 times. That's true. But yeah, to bang out 30% of your losses in the first 2 weeks of the season is tough. But I feel like the season, when you go back and you reflect, like so much happens the first 2 weeks and then things start to get figured out. So boys, onwards and upwards.
This could be a completely different room next week, or it could be very similar.
Could be the exact same.
Remember
room.
last year we had a lot of returning characters, and that's just week 1. And we moved though. It's early, but like I said in the beginning, there is the potential for some panic. So I want to move in now to a new segment we're calling Patience or Panic.
Patience or Panic.
And if you couldn't figure it out by those words, what we're doing is taking a look at every team. No team will be exempt from it. Every team in the league, We're going to look at either a player or a position group, and I'm going to ask you, you're going to ask me, is it time to panic on those players, or we're only entering week 3? Do you still have patience? All right.
Let's rock.
Were those instructions clear enough?
I think so.
All right. We're going to start with set it and forget it. And we're going to start the top of the food chain with the new and improved, or just back the way he was. Mr. Jason Gregory, Poetic Justice. Great start for Jay. Looking like most of the pieces have hit. But there is one glaring spot that I don't think he would have anticipated having the start that he has. So let me ask you this, Sam. Mr. Brian Thomas Jr., is it time to panic, or should Jay be patient with him?
Oh, Brian Thomas Jr., he is a stud. I'm being patient, but I'm a little shaky about that patience, I think.
Okay, so you're patient, but the leash is short.
The leash is short.
Yeah. All right, perfect. And we're going to go a little bit rapid fire on this. Like I said, we don't got a bunch of stuff stacked on the agenda today, not a ton of time, so it's going to be short and sweet, but patient with Jay's Brian Thomas Jr. Okay, let's go to Luke, and you're asking me.
Luke, wide receiver situation. Patience or panic?
Ooh, that's a good one. So week 1 doesn't look good. Week 2, Pickens comes to life. Nico still getting up to speed. I'm patient. I actually like Luke's wide receivers. I think Rome is a big breakout candidate. Nico will come around, and Pickens is going to be solid for however he wants to play him. So 100% patient, and actually more than that. I actually like his guys.
Oh, yeah. And with that Montgomery trade, that lineup's looking stout.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on down the list. Mr. Graham Simmons, the back-to-back champ commish. That wide receiver room, patient or panic?
I just see that a trade was made. He has DJ Moore now, but I'm panicking. I'm panicking about that wide receiver room.
Wow. Live trade alert? Let's hit it real quick. What's the trade?
I don't know, but he has Calvin Ridley, DJ Moore, and...
Did he trade Kenneth?
No,
Did he trade Chuba?
He still has Kenneth, still has Chuba, still has Saquon. So I'm not sure what happened here, but he did upgrade that wide receiver core. So we're going to take it back. I'm going to say I'm going to be patient because we're doing this live. He just added 2 upgrades, I think, to that wide receiver room.
All right. So live trade, Caleb Williams, DJ Moore, and Calvin Ridley for Sutton and Braylon Allen.
Yeah.
So basically Tripp turns those guys into Sutton. Graham gets a little bit of depth at receiver and brings Caleb into the line.
Caleb in for Kyler. So yeah, I'm patient then on this wide receiver situation. You got to see what happens here with these new pieces. I definitely think they're upgrades. So whereas I was going to say panic, I think he did panic and he made a move here. And so now we're going to be patient. Good job, Graham.
There we go. All right. Down the list in the division.
All right. Our next person is... Oh, you're asking me?
No, you're asking me.
I'm on top of it. We're moving quick. Springfield, the other side of that trade, slots in Cortland Sutton here. I'm going to say wide receiver situation for spring as well.
I'm patient. If I'm spring. It's been tough so far. I think the production will come. I think Evans' volume is saying that he's still that guy. Tetz looked really good. He just traded for Sutton. I'm not a huge Sutton guy, but I mean, I think that was potentially an improvement from what he had. I think you give it another week and then you potentially try to ship a running back is kind of what I would do. But yeah, I'll go patient for spring.
Quick bonus, one word answer, Ashton Genty, patient, panic.
I think he has to be patient, but I've never thought that personally that Genty was going to return the value for his, if it's Snake, his ADP, or that dollar amount that I think was spent. But that's just me personally.
Alrighty.
So I think this will be more of a quick hit if we go just division by division. So I'll ask you an entire division, then you ask me an entire division.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So I will go. I'll ask you first. We'll go our division, Singing the Bonnie Blues, Unseen Blade, patient or panic. I guess. Tough to say. Maybe
patient. The answer is patient.
Okay,
yeah,
patient.
There's nothing to panic about here.
Okay. I mean, there's obviously some holes, right? RB2.
Yeah.
Wide receiver 2, 3 potentially.
Yeah, but nowhere near panic on any of these.
Okay.
Marvin Harrison Jr., I think, would be my only potential.
I would have asked panic on Marvin.
Yeah, I would say panic a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be the same as last year.
All right. Titan Reaper. Mr. Evan Simmons, big week 1, low week 2. Patience or panic with his Hall-Hampton combo at running back?
I'm patient for one more week.
Okay.
Let's see if we can suss this out a little bit.
Okay. All right. Shadow Brigade, yourself, patience or panic with your wide receiver room?
Honestly, I'm patient.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Chase Brown, new injury, Joe Burrow, patience or panic?
Got to be patient with Chase as well.
Okay. All right. So patient across the board. All right. Let's go to Almost Pringles.
All right. Outlier. The outlier. Patience or panic? Mark Andrews.
Yeah, I think we're panicking. I don't know if that's the biggest issue that he has, which kind of looks like it. Maybe he looks for a trade in the works, but I think, yeah, individually, positionally, panic, but team impact wise, I don't think much to panic for Brennan so far.
Yeah, be off to a solid start. Kendall Cook, solid team all the way through, but patience or panic? Daniel Jones and his quarterback situation.
Patient. Yeah, patient. Kendall's team is, like I said, it's showing a lot of depth. I think he can wear. You saw last week, Penix basically scored nothing and the team lifted it up. So I think there's more moves to be made for Kendall. So I'm staying patient.
Ken's, I think, got the deepest team in the league right now. Good job, Ken. Casey, $1,500 team. Got to stick in the quarterback room given what just happened. 2 for patience or panic for his quarterback and Jamar Chase, given that Burrow's now down.
I'm patient. I think he's just going to pepper him with targets. He'll still be good. I would say, in a week, maybe 2 weeks, might be time to panic with the running back room.
Yeah,
maybe 1 week and then panic.
Yeah, Tyrone, big question mark there. All right, finally, Mr. Suicide Watch List and your pick to win the league: patience or panic for Hunter's team, everyone except for CeeDee Lamb and Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, if I'm him, I'm panicked. There's obviously some good individual pieces, but what we've seen so far and just the situation that some guys are in isn't great. I mean, Spears is coming back in a couple weeks, so I don't think Pollard is going to get more valuable there. Not to say he's not a decent starter. It's going to be really, dependent on Bill to be that guy in that Commander's offense with Eckler gone. And then he needs ceiling weeks from Dak and CD combined. So yeah, I'm feeling very uneasy. I don't know if he's got a ton of time left to wait for things to pan out. But yeah, I would feel panicked if I were him.
All right. That's it. That's our new segment, Patience or Panic. Week 2. It's always interesting to do that.
Brought to you by.
Yeah, what is it brought to you by? Xanax. Brought to you by Xanax. Wide receiver room getting you down? Take a Xanax and chill.
Patience or panic. I like it. And that leads us into our last segment of the day. Neither of us hit last week, but as is the gambler's fallacy, you keep betting. Eventually, Evan, you know this, man. Evan, master of it. Draft weekend, Evan was down, but what did he do? Kept taking money out. He kept betting, and he beat the house. That's how it works.
Doubled up.
The house never wins as long as you bet hard enough. We're going to Gambler's Alley, week 3 edition, Sam.
Sponsored by Captain Morgan Lombard.
And so last week, I think I was the first to go. I am going to give it to you. You choose the first. As always, this is a 6-leg parlay. We need them all to hit $100, and that will roll into the next pot collected at the end of the season. Schedules have been busy, but we're working to get someone on soon, if not next week, and they will be included if they would like to go against the Sam and Tom betting house. So start us off, Sam.
I'm going to start Kendall versus Casey, and I'm taking no pride, no data.
All right. Casey, let's go.
And remember, I have I think an O and unlimited record betting against Casey. So that's a guaranteed win for Casey.
Guaranteed win for me. All right. Yeah. I like it. All right. I'm going to go next, and I am going to go to meat coated Skele and Luke, and I'm going to go Graham here. I got a feeling that some guys are going to turn it around, and I'm taking Graham.
Both these teams rolling out revamped rosters, so let's see how it goes down. All right, moving on. Griffin Hunter versus Brendan. Can Brendan keep it rolling, or can Griffin Hunter get right? I think Brendan keeps it rolling. 3-0 start. Terrifying, considering he doesn't even have Rashi in that lineup or Addison. So I got B.
Let's go, Griff. This is an easy win. I need one. I need one here. Just kidding. I mean, it's not an easy win. I wasn't saying Brendan. It's an easy win against you. I'm just saying for my parlay. All right. My next team, I'm going to go with Tripp. Pulling the upset over Jay. I just think there's some positive regression coming his way. I think there's going to be some touchdowns to be had. This has the potential for a high scoring game. I like Jay's team a lot. I am just going to go and bet on the side of positive regression.
There we go. Another revamped roster. All right, moving on to our matchups. I'll take yours. The Titan Reaper versus Unseen Blade. Titan Reaper trying to reap the Titan, but I'll go with you on this one. Your team just looks solid. High floor.
Not quite good. High floor, not nice ceiling, but we'll take solid any day of the week.
It's solid.
All right, and we're gonna finish it off with your matchup, Shadow Brigade against the Golden Age. Which, Ben, at what point does that become like the Gilded Age or the Bronze Age? Does it just stay Golden Age for when does Ben usually name change? Like, is that like week 10?
Yeah, around the halfway mark, I feel like.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, probably Ben is tinkering like crazy, I'm sure. So I'm going to take you because I can't quite get there with Ben's team yet. But this team that I'm betting against might not look the same by the time the matchups start. So
yeah, who knows? I'm just hoping I break 90 this week.
You think? Do you think you got it?
I gotta have it in me somewhere. Yeah. Come on, boys.
When is the next piece coming out?
I'm working on it right now.
Yeah.
The goal is to have it out before kickoff tomorrow. Yeah. Cooking something up. So
what were the vibes and the emotions writing that one? Because it was very much like inspirational after the first loss.
Yeah.
Are you keeping that same energy? Is it a little more somber?
I pivoted a little bit.
Is it featuring any new voices, any new characters finding their voice?
It is featuring, yeah. It's a deep dive on a character that I don't think most people will be expecting. A little bit different storytelling structure on this one. So
can we all just collectively real quick, whatever you're doing, pause and just give Sam just a little mini round of applause for this wonderful piece of literature that he's putting out. It's an ongoing series. No, seriously, like it is very good. The structure, it's obviously well written, but just it sounds like, or it reads like you're reading like a professional fantasy work. Like,
I appreciate that. That's
when
awesome. Thank you.
Mentioned about the Game of Thrones thing, like I'm reading it. It doesn't feel like a chat GPT, like throw in a theme and tell it, hey, this is what I want it to look like. It feels authentic, and it's just been really fun. A really fun read, all of them.
Thanks, man.
So
yeah, appreciate it.
Kudos to Sam.
It's been fun to write. Hopefully I can write it from a winning perspective one of these weeks. We'll see.
With that, that's it. I'm not sure. We had a little technical difficulties here in the middle, so I'm not sure how much the video is going to line up. Maybe you can easily do it. I'm not sure.
We'll take a look in post.
Take a look.
Yeah.
Send it to you guys.
Yeah. We'll take a look in post.
All right. I like it. But hey, with that said, thanks for sticking with us after last week. I know we had a week hiatus. We're going to try to buck that trend, not do that again. But what a difference 2 weeks can make in fantasy. 0-2. I'm sorry. Tons of time left. Yep. I'm fortunate to be 2-0. So praying for continued luck there. Kendall, take it easy on me. And guys, vibe out. Best of luck to everyone except Evan. I love you, but please don't reap me this week. And for you.
Except for you, Ben.
Later, Ben. The Gilded Age. Vibe out, guys. We'll see you soon.
Peace.
Manipulation.